Okay, we're back. We've got all 28 of the LEDs soldered in. You can see my solder joints on the back. Again, these aren't the greatest looking solder joints. The soldering iron's a little cold. Turns out that the kit came with an extra LED, which is nice in case you happen to break one or mess one up or one of them doesn't work, whatever. I did have to count to make sure I got all 28 of them in there. The next step of the instructions is to do the transistors. So the transistors look like this, with these little black components. Transistors always have 3 leads on them. In transistors like this, there'll always be a flat side to the casing. So it makes it real easy to tell which way to put the components in. You almost can't mess this up. There's 3 leads. They're shaped like a little triangle. You might have to bend the leads a little bit. You can kind of see on the board here, we've got T1 and T2. Just stands for transistor 1 and transistor 2. I'm going to start to get the component in. Again, you might just have to bend the leads just a little bit, separating them out into a little triangle like so. And this will take just a little finesse to get these inside the holes. And you don't want to force this too much. It's okay for the transistor to stick above the circuit board a little bit. If you try to force it, you might break the either the casing or the semiconductors inside. So don't force it. Just let it sit in there naturally. And you'll have 3 leads to solder. Now with transistors, you want to be a little careful. Transistors are semiconductors. They're heat-sensitive components. So as you're soldering, you just want to be careful not to overheat the component, which means, again, unlike a resistor, you can put heat on it all day and it's going to be okay. Not all day, but it's going to be okay if you take your time soldering leisurely. With transistors, though, you want to be gingerly. Get the soldering iron on there, get the solder on, and get off of it. And if you're really a slow solderer, if you haven't been doing this very long and you're taking your time, you can use a heat sink on the other side of the circuit board to draw the heat away from the component. If you've been doing this for a while, you don't need to do that. In fact, you can see what I just did. I accidentally created a short circuit here. I need to correct my work. I'm just going to get some of the solder off here. There we go. Shouldn't do what I just did. I don't have any solder wick with me, but be careful not to flick hot solder at yourself. There we go. I'm just going to repair that other joint. A little more solder on there. And